The Big Buck Hunter series of arcade games have been around for quite a while, and I see them in restaurants and bars pretty much all the time when I'm out. But I've never really given them a shot. Until now, because Big Buck Hunter Arcade is on the PlayStation 4. But is this one game worth hunting down? Or is this one worse than getting an accidental gunshot? Big Buck Hunter Arcade for the PlayStation 4 is unfortunately a rather shallow experience, and unfortunately I don't feel is going to appeal to too many, except for maybe there's obsessive Big Buck Hunter fans that desperately want this style of game in their own home. The game has 3 different modes: Adventure, Single Hunt, and then the bonus rounds. In the Adventure mode, you have 2 types of adventure: Whitetail Adventure and Moose Adventure. Each one is broken up into 3 different areas that have 5 stands each. Once you're at your first location, you get to pick from any of the 5 stands to start with, and you have to complete all of them before you'll move on to then the next area. The hunts at each of the stands are relatively small, with 3 deer or 3 moose, and they all kind of come at you at set patterns, but all different, with various challenges to them, with other animals, trees, and other things getting in the way of you trying to get that clean shot on the deer you're trying to hit. Your goal, though, is of course only to hit the bucks or the bulls. If you hit the females, well, it's an instant loss, and you do still get your points for the deer you had already killed, but the round ends instantly at that point. Once you accidentally shoot a female, kill all 3 of the targets, or if the targets end up getting away, the round ends, and you get a calculation of your total score, and then you get to go to the next stand until you've completed all 5 of the stands. Once you complete all 5, your score is tallied for the entire adventure there, and then you move on to the next area. Of course, hitting your target in the head or heart will be an instant kill, which of course is your main goal, but hitting them at other parts will at least weaken them, and sometimes taking 2 or 3 shots in order to take down one of these targets. There's also critters running around like skunks, rabbits, and birds for you to hit as well to get some bonus points. And the farther away your shot is from the target, the more points you end up amassing there. Now, with all 5 of the stands, one of them at each location will be a dangerous encounter, where after you've finished all 3 of the targets, either they got away or you've killed them all, you'll then have a dangerous encounter with an animal like a bear or a wolf or a cougar, who will then run and charge at you, and your goal is of course to take it down before it ends up running into you and taking you out. If you're able to hit it, of course, you'll get some more bonus points. Once you've completed all 3 locations with 5 stands each, your total score is tallied, and then there you go. That is your score for that particular round. You can then upload it to the leaderboard if you're like, and your goal is to see how high of a score in total you can end up getting. You then can go back to the main menu, or you can go on to another adventure. Basically, you'll alternate between whitetail and moose back and forth for as long as you feel like before eventually you get bored or tired. There's the single hunt, where you pick a location, whether it's whitetail or moose, and then you can pick any of the stands and keep doing them as much as possible. This is basically a practice mode more than anything else, so you can really kind of get your timing down on your shots, as well as if you're having trouble at a particular stand, you can kind of master it and get better at it. Then there's the bonus rounds, and I assume in the arcade between rounds sometimes you would earn little bonus rounds and get to do one of these. And they have a bit of variety to them. One of them you're hunting pigeons, you have ducks, you have eels, and even cockroaches that you're able to kill in these bonus rounds, and your goal is to hit as many of the targets as you can within the time limit. You can play every one of the game's modes single or multiplayer, with you and a friend taking turns or competing head-to-head directly. Other than that, the only thing you can really mess with is looking at the leaderboard, or mess around a little bit with the options. You can change things like sensitivity, though honestly, it didn't seem to change the sensitivity much. I set it all the way to max and all the way to the lowest setting, and it didn't really seem to make all that much difference. When hunting, you have to constantly reload. Every single shot you take, you have to reload, which are controlled by the L2 and R2 buttons, which is a bit awkward, especially for really fast-paced gameplay, and unfortunately, there's no way to change any of these settings in the options menu. There's also no Move Compatibility, because there really isn't any Move Compatibility with the PlayStation 4 outside currently of the PlayStation VR, so you can't even do kind of the light gun-esque action with a game like this, which is a light gun-esque game in the arcade, of course. From the technical side of things, there was no crashing, but there was some slowdown here and there for sure, and other little twitchy, glitchy-esque things with the graphics from time to time. Big Buck Hunter Arcade is available for $19.99 on the PS4, which I think is asking way too much for the content that you end up getting here. It does feature, thankfully, a full trophy list, including a platinum, though you're going to have to kill quite a lot of deer and moose in order to get it, as well as perfecting some of the bonus rounds, which is going to be a real challenge. I really wish there were some changes to the control scheme that you'd be able to do that could really end up helping me out as far as that quick trigger mashing in order to fire fast enough to get a perfect in the bonus rounds. With everything said, though, unfortunately, there's just not enough here, and it's really hard to recommend it to really anyone out there unless you really desperately want to play Big Buck Hunter in your home. With that said, I'm going to be giving the game a 2 out of 10. What it's trying to do, it did pretty well. There's no major issues, and that full trophy list at least is somewhat of a plus. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching. Of course, I hope you enjoyed.